Welcome, everyone. So let me ask you this. Have you ever found yourself attracted to someone older, someone who seems to just get it? You know, a woman who's been around the block, has her life together, and isn't here to waste her time on childish games. She's someone who knows what she wants, and yet that's what makes her even more intriguing, right? But let's be honest. Navigating the romantic world with someone more experienced can be intimidating. You don't want to come off as immature or needy, and you definitely don't want to lose yourself in the process of trying to make her like you. Well, what if I told you that the key to winning her heart isn't some pickup line or grand gesture? Nope, it's actually rooted in Stoic philosophy. That's right. Today, we're diving into ancient wisdom to understand how Stoicism can help you attract an older woman without losing your cool or your sense of self. Because guess what? Confidence, self-control, and groundedness never go out of style. So, let's break it down, step by step, Stoic style. 1. Become your own source of confidence. Let's start with the foundation of everything. The one thing that Stoicism teaches you before anything else. You must become your own source of confidence. Now picture this. You're sitting across from this older woman and she's telling you about her career, her travels, and the life lessons she's learned. Impressive, right? But here's the catch. If you start comparing yourself to her experiences and achievements, you've already lost the game. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, has a piece of advice that'll change your whole mindset. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. In other words, confidence isn't about having lived more years or having more achievements. It's about how you see yourself. Do you respect yourself? Do you believe in the path you're on? If you do, she'll notice that immediately. Take the example of a young man who's attracted to an older woman who's a successful business owner. Instead of feeling intimidated by her financial success or years of experience, a Stoic would see it as an opportunity to celebrate her accomplishments without feeling the need to compete. He would find confidence in his own journey. Whether he's just starting his career or still figuring out his goals, because he knows his worth isn't dependent on comparing life stages. Another example is if you're on a date and she casually mentions having traveled to 20 different countries while you've only been to one. A non-Stoic response might involve scrambling to find something equally impressive to talk about, maybe by highlighting your future travel plans or exaggerating past experiences. However, a Stoic would acknowledge her experience, express genuine curiosity, and be comfortable with the fact that his life is unfolding in its own unique way. That kind of self-assurance speaks volumes. Stoicism teaches that the approval you seek from others, whether from an older woman or anyone else, pales in comparison to the self-approval that comes from living in alignment with your own values. She will sense your confidence, not because you're trying to impress her, but because you're grounded in who you are. 2. Show strength in vulnerability. Now, this might sound a bit counterintuitive, but one of the biggest lessons in Stoicism is that true strength isn't about pretending to be perfect or always having the answers. It's about acknowledging your flaws and being okay with them. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, put it best. It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. What he meant is that the more comfortable you are with your imperfections, the more you'll project an air of unshakable confidence. And trust me, this is something that an older woman will respect. Think about it. She's likely been through relationships where men have tried to play the tough guy, never showing any vulnerability, always pretending to have everything figured out. But the truth is, that act gets old fast. She's looking for someone real. Let's take a real-life scenario here. Imagine you're having a conversation with her and she asks about a difficult moment in your life, like a time when you lost a job, or went through a rough breakup. A non-stoic response might be to downplay the event or act like it didn't affect you. But a stoic knows that real strength comes from being honest and vulnerable. A stoic response would be to share how that experience helped you grow. Maybe losing that job taught you resilience, or that tough breakup pushed you to reevaluate what you truly value in a relationship. By being open about your struggles and what you've learned from them, you're showing her emotional maturity, something that's far more appealing than trying to act invincible. Take, for instance, a man who is open about a past failure in starting a business. Instead of portraying it as an embarrassing misstep, he reflects on how it led to better decision-making, deeper self-awareness, and resilience. This level of emotional honesty is refreshing and attractive to an older woman, who has likely experienced her own share of setbacks and can appreciate someone who has learned from theirs. 3. Embrace emotional control without becoming cold. Let's talk emotions. Now, older women have a certain radar when it comes to emotional maturity. She doesn't have time for drama or emotionally erratic behavior. And here's where Stoicism's idea of emotional control really shines. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic teachers, said something profound. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is huge when it comes to dating, especially if you're trying to win over someone older and wiser. The key isn't to shut off your emotions or act like you don't care. No, that's the wrong approach. Instead, the Stoic method teaches you to understand your emotions but not let them control you. If she says something that throws you off, or if a date doesn't go exactly as planned, a Stoic remains calm and collected. Not in a detached, robotic way, but in a way that shows you're in control of your own emotional landscape. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're on a date and she talks about her ex. Maybe they're still friends or share some type of connection. If you're not grounded in Stoic principles, you might react by feeling insecure, jealous, or even try to compete with her past. However, a Stoic approach would be to calmly listen and realize that her past relationships are outside your control. What matters is how you handle the present moment. A guy who practices Stoicism wouldn't let that kind of situation derail him. Instead, he might even use humor to lighten the conversation, or simply ask more questions to understand the nature of her relationship without being emotionally reactive. This shows a level of emotional stability that's deeply attractive. Imagine this situation playing out. She cancels plans last minute due to work commitments, and instead of becoming visibly frustrated or sulking, the Stoic man remains understanding and flexible. He knows that external circumstances aren't within his control, but his reaction is. He might even suggest a new plan for another time, showing that he's unbothered by minor setbacks. This resilience, combined with emotional steadiness, signals maturity and self-confidence. 4. Focus on shared values over surface-level impressiveness. Let's be real, older women have been around the block. She's likely seen it all. Guys trying to impress her with flashy things, shallow compliments, or exaggerated stories. But here's the thing. When you're dealing with someone who's emotionally mature, all those surface-level things don't matter nearly as much as shared values. Seneca has a beautiful quote that perfectly fits here. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. What this means in the context of attraction is that you should aim to connect with her on a deeper level, focusing on shared values like honesty, integrity, or personal growth. Let's say she's telling you about her passion for volunteering, and you don't have the same level of experience in that area. Instead of feeling inadequate or trying to overcompensate, you can share your genuine values about helping others or personal responsibility. You don't have to have lived the same life, but you can connect on what truly matters, whether it's kindness, empathy, or continuous self-improvement. For example, I knew a guy who was dating an older woman who was deeply involved in environmental activism. He didn't have a background in that field, but instead of pretending to be an expert or feeling out of place, he expressed his own value of living a mindful life, how he believes in personal responsibility and minimizing waste in his daily life. This honest, values-driven conversation led to a deeper connection than if he had tried to fake expertise in her field of passion. The key here is that Stoicism encourages you to connect on what matters most, rather than getting lost in surface-level impressiveness. If she values honesty and emotional intelligence, and you do too, that's the foundation of a real connection. Be independent, but offer value. Here's a simple truth. The older woman you're interested in doesn't need you. She's been through enough to be self-reliant, and she's not looking for someone to fill a void in her life. That's why one of the most attractive qualities you can show is independence. But, at the same time, offer value. Epictetus reminds us, no great thing is created suddenly. In relationships, this applies to the idea that you don't need to rush to impress or be everything to her at once. Instead, demonstrate that you're a man with his own life, interests, and ambitions. At the same time, offer value in subtle, meaningful ways. Let's break this down. You're not trying to swoop in and save her, nor are you trying to make yourself indispensable by overdoing it with grand gestures. Instead, you're showing her that while you're fully capable of living your own life, you genuinely enjoy adding value to hers. For example, if she's dealing with a tough work week, instead of offering superficial advice or cliches like, just relax, you could offer practical help or simply be a calming presence. You're not trying to solve all her problems, but you're showing her that you can add value in a way that's supportive, not overbearing. Another scenario might be something as simple as planning a thoughtful, low-key date that caters to her preferences, whether it's her favorite restaurant or a hobby you know she enjoys. This shows her that you're attentive and value her happiness, but you're not desperate for her validation. By maintaining your own independence while offering genuine value, you create a dynamic that's rooted in mutual respect and admiration. 6. Master the art of listening. Finally, let's talk about something that's massively underrated: the art of listening. If you want to connect with an older woman, you must become a master of truly listening. Seneca had a powerful line: "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." And this is critical in any romantic interaction, especially with someone older who values meaningful dialogue. When you're engaging in conversation, don't dominate it by trying to prove yourself. Instead, ask thoughtful questions and really listen to her responses. Show genuine curiosity about her experiences, opinions, and perspectives. A Stoic knows that real power in a conversation isn't about impressing, it's about connecting. For example, if she's sharing a story about a past relationship or career experience, don't immediately jump in with your own similar story. Instead, ask her how it shaped her, what she learned, or how she felt about it. Engage on a deeper level, and you'll create a connection that's far more meaningful than any flashy words could achieve. In another scenario, imagine her sharing a recent challenge, whether it's personal or professional. Rather than jumping in with unsolicited advice, a Stoic would listen attentively, maybe asking clarifying questions or offering support without trying to fix the issue. This shows emotional intelligence and patience, qualities that set you apart. Conclusion: the Stoic way to her heart. To wrap things up, remember this: Stoicism isn't just a philosophy for ancient emperors and philosophers. It's a guide for modern living, especially when it comes to relationships. If you want to attract an older woman, you don't need tricks or tactics. Instead, focus on becoming the best version of yourself, rooted in confidence, emotional control, and genuine values. Show vulnerability without losing strength. Offer value without being needy. Cultivate patience and master the art of conversation. At the end of the day, a Stoic knows that true connection isn't about impressing someone, it's about being real, present, and grounded. And trust me, that's the kind of energy that will naturally draw her in. Good luck out there, and remember, the Stoic path is the surest way to win her heart, without losing yourself in the process.